for me, it's just that I have a joy in helping people and changing lives. Um, when 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 I speak with agents and I'm presenting this opportunity to them, the last thing I'm thinking about is my bank account. Okay. And I don't need to work anymore. Okay. But I'm having the time of my life because especially when I'm meeting with somebody who's young and, stressed out and they've got a family and the whole bit, and I just say, listen, this is an opportunity that could not just change your life, but the life of future generations in your family. And, you know, I'm happy to help you through that process. And so that's my big thing. For me, it's giving back because, and I talk about this in the book because not everything has always been rosy for me. Okay. In that recession so my son Matthew, okay, my eldest son, he was born in 1990. And in the early 90s, when I was, that year that he was born, I was doing really, really well at Remax. I had two offices, a full-time assistant, carried 80 to 100 listings at any given time. I was on top of the world. Okay. I was making great money, this and that. And then when that market collapsed, okay, and I was never a big lavish spender. Like even today, I don't like wear jewelry or watches and all that stuff, right? So what happened was this. I was on the verge of bankruptcy.
Mhm.
Okay. The properties that I owned were all underwater, meaning that the mortgages on them were higher than the current value. All right. And I owed money, not because I was spending, but my office expenses at Remax, paying for two offices, a full-time assistant, all my signage costs. And see, the income had stopped, but my expenses kept going. And after a year or two of this, it was to the point where what am I going to do? Okay. So thankfully, my parents had some equity and I arranged a small loan from my father.
Mhm.
Okay. And that allowed me to keep things going and not lose any properties and get through that time in my life. Okay. So so when I saw and then things went, things rebounded and everything turned out well. But when I saw this model in 2015, and I saw that my son was now in real estate and my younger one who was thinking of getting into real estate, I said to myself, you know what? I can really make a difference here. And back then, it was 2015. They weren't even in Canada. There was 500 agents, but on paper it looked really good. But as I would monitor the progress of the company, and when they were ready to come to Ontario, I
Mhm.
could see that this thing was getting traction. And I said, you know what? Because I was golfing a lot and traveling in the whole bit, and you can only do so much of that. Like I'm still only 59. So the thing is I can still spend time working and I enjoy it. So the thing is I said to myself, you know what? I can really make a difference here by helping agents and coaching them because and back then you talked to a millennial, they thought real estate would never go down. No, you're right. And it was funny because we would have these conversations. I'd say, I've been through these cycles, and sooner or later we're going to see these prices come down. No, they'll never come down. Interest rates will never go up. Well, look where we're at right now, right? So and we could just be at the beginning of a downturn, right? So now I look at this and say, well, with this model, this is almost it's a recession-proof model for the real estate industry.
Mhm.
Because I'll tell you, the real estate, you talk to any real estate agents, it's a grind because you've only got two ways of making money.
Yep.
And when we show them our five ways, it's a game changer.
And I'm sure once people hear that recession proof for a realtor, that's gonna be magic to their ears.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, even with the market shift,
Yeah.
my son is still going to Mexico because his rev share uh, is basically the same because the rev share is paid out on the first 80,000 of agents who do.
Mhm.
So you're having agents who may have their first year where they've actually declined in income. But if you went from an agent who did 200,000 in gross commissions down to 90,000, the rev share has not changed one bit.
Mhm.
You see,
Wow.
so that's why we call it recession proof.
Awesome. How is success like music?
How is success like music? Ah, gosh, that's a tough one. I think like anything else, it's just success. You have to move the ball forward, and by trying different things. And I think with music, like I have a guitar that I can barely play, but you know, my grandfather was a musician and could play anything. And the thing is, with music, you've got to experiment. You've got to practice. You've got to find out what works and what doesn't work. And I think the same thing is with success.
Awesome. So that's how success is like music.